The National Assembly Monday evening gave approval for government to utilize an additional $47 billion to further advance major transformation projects in various sectors across Guyana. The supplementary funding, which was successfully passed in the House, saw some $1.3 billion being allocated to the Office of the Prime Minister to cover additional costs incurred by power companies in regions 1, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Of that amount, $927.5 million will go to the Linden Electricity Company, Inc., Lethem Region 9, $110.7 million, Mabaruma Region 1, $106 million, and Kokwani Region 10, $103.238 million.
All of this monies that are requested under the Office of the Prime Minister is because of significant rise in fuel prices over the last year. And these power companies operate on subsidies, as you know, and the original subsidy that was planned under the voted provisions at the beginning of the year did not foresee that kind of market fluctuation. Everybody who lives in reality knows that these power companies, they buy fuel, and we have seen a 65% increase in the cost for fuel.
The Ministry of Agriculture received an additional $3 billion to provide resources for operational expenses at the Guyana Sugar Corporation, Gaisuku, and the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, NDIA.
As you rightly mentioned, $1 billion has been allocated to Gaisuku for operating expenses, and those are expenses relating to the operation of these estates in terms of factories, rehabilitation of critical areas in the factory, rehab the plantation, the cultivation, just put new lands into cultivation. As a matter of fact, under the AP and UAFC, 23,000 hectares of land were abandoned by them with the closure of Wales, Rosal, Enmore, and Skellen Estate. We were able to put back approximately 2,000 hectares already under cultivation at Rosal.
As part of the supplementary, the sum of $18.1 billion will be spent on upgrading roads and drains in more than 1,000 communities.
The monies that are being sought here today, sir, is to accelerate and to continue to bring relief to the thousands or tens of thousands of people who are waiting for their roads to be fixed. We still got more people who want more roads. And we are committing, sir, we intend to fix everybody's road. Because every citizen in every community, in every region, deserves to be driving, walking on the best roads.
The Human Services and Social Security Ministry was also allocated $24 million for the provision of additional resources to meet the dietary needs of children who receive services at state homes. Meanwhile, the National Assembly also approved over $2.9 billion in advances under the contingency fund. The House approved the sum of $1.7 billion that was spent for additional resources to support the Linden Electricity Company, Inc. in Region 10, Upper Demerara, Berbice.
As fuel went up on the world market, the supplier basically included that cost and passed it on to us. So there have been several increases, and this request was made to cover all the increases. The overriding factor here, Mr. Speaker, was to ensure that the people in Linden and its environment have electricity.
Accordingly, the $54.1 million that was spent by the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs was approved. It accounts for over $5 million that was exhausted to host the National Tushaus Council and $48.8 million for the hosting of the Amerindian Heritage Month activities.
Those were the activities that were not planned for because we were only hoping to have a very virtual extravagance like we did in 2020, where we did a cultural concert that was held virtually. And so the opening up of our country led to us doing the full-fledged heritage.
Over $740 million that was expended through the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority to conduct urgent drainage works in several regions across Guyana also received approval. Another $50.5 million was spent for the provision of additional resources to support the Guyana Forensic Science Laboratory, specifically for the acquisition of a DNA analysis workflow system.
The machine could not run analyses for degraded samples. So perhaps if there was a fresh blood or flesh sample, you would get some result with maybe 75–80% accuracy. So that was a problem in itself. It could not run degraded blood or bone samples.